So I saw Scream 6 the other day, and this is my Fast and Furious. The more you give it to me, the more I will watch, no matter how ridiculous these movies become. Because with this movie, the 6th installment of the franchise, this movie fucking rips. Now, by this point, you kind of know what you do and don't like about the Scream franchise, right? I really enjoy this franchise. Even the movies that I don't think are particularly good, I still enjoy, if that makes sense. Because you kind of know what to expect. What else do you don't? You know the formula for Scream, right? There's going to be an opening kill. They're going to explain the rules. They're going to be more meta shit. They're going to fake you out even more, kill a reveal, and then death. It's a clean, simple formula that provides exactly what you need, and Scream 6 gave me everything I wanted. And let me tell you, Ghostface wiping the blood off the knife absolutely makes me ascend. There's a particular moment in here, and you should know the moment, where Ghostface wipes the blood off the knife, and I really felt that I transcended. Like, I stopped becoming a human, and I just became gas in the air. Like, I don't know what it was, it just unleashed something in me. And that goes to say that I do think this is the goriest Scream yet. Now, while I certainly love the Scream movies, I'm no Scream fanatic. I know there are tons of people who love this franchise way more than me, and maybe they'll disagree with that. But from what I can remember, this is really gory. And like, thank you. Yes, do it. Why not? Don't stab him once. Stab him 27 times. This movie just goes for it. They really do. And on your 6th installment of a very self-aware meta franchise, of course you have to. Of course you have to go bigger. Now, that can be a problem for a lot of movies. You know, we've seen a lot of movies. They get a sequel and they get another sequel. The budget gets bigger, cast gets bigger, kills or whatever special effects get bigger, and it becomes a big jumbled mess. And Scream 6 was still very tight. It just sailed through the 2 hours and then boom, done. I was smiling. So the kills are great. Some of them make you cringe. I certainly know I did. And I still love the explaining of the rules and how self-aware this movie is. When you boil it down, the thing that I love most about these movies are the fact that they are self-aware and meta. I think that's why most people loved it. But you know, when you start thinking about it, you know, 6 movies in, are you gonna keep rehashing some self-aware? Like, how much more self-aware can you get with the 6th movie? But the way they explain it, I really like it. And I'm sorry, the scene where they explain the rules is similar to how I feel in a Rocky/Creed training montage. It just makes me smile. Because this movie, while at times pretty terrifying and adrenaline pumping and you're kind of on the edge of your seat, it also still has that Scream, I don't know, like silliness. I don't even know if that's the right word, but the fact that it's so self-aware and yet kind of silly about it, it's just a good ass time. And of course this movie faked me out. I mean, how could it not? And in fact, the opening scene of this movie, which a lot of people have been talking about, genuinely threw me off. I was like, wait a minute. I was like, wait, what? I'm not used to this. What's going on here? And you know, Screams are pretty much a whodunit. You know, you're just looking for the real killer. It also accomplished that time where I'm like, okay, I think it's that person. And then the movie continues. You're like, okay, well, it's certainly not this person. Okay, I think it's this person. And it keeps you on your toes. And I'm sorry, that's just all you want in a Scream movie. So the kills are gory and suspenseful. That's a check. Explaining of the rules, self-aware, meta commentary on movies and itself. Check. What else do you want? Now, my main criticism with this movie is the 3rd act reveal. Now, that sounds big, but it's not necessarily the reveal of who did it. To me, I just think their motivations are weak. Or maybe weak isn't even the right word, but it was just kind of like, oh, okay. Like, yeah, that, I mean, I guess that makes sense, sure. You're just kind of expecting something a little bit bigger, you know? So that'll be disappointing for some, and I'm sure there'll be people who definitely complain about that. I've already seen it. But honestly, after that happened, where I was kind of like, okay, like I understand the motivation, then it just goes back to killing, and I was like, okay, great, I'm back in. I'm back in. Not that you lost me that much, but I'm still back in. And that kind of goes to also what I like about Scream 6 is because I really care about these characters now. Scream 5, I did like that movie, but there are some characters where I was like, man, I really don't give a fuck about you respectfully. It was that, and I thought some of their performances were a little bit weak in Scream 5. That might be a hot take, I'm sorry. But in this one, I think everyone's good, and I care for the characters, especially the core ones, and I'm like, okay, like, what if this continues, which, I mean, who knows? Like, I'm in. And I guess I could also mention that, like, you know, some people you think they're dead and then they're not. And it's like, okay, well, you should be dead considering what I just fucking saw. No human being would survive that attack. But then when you start talking like that, it's like, what the hell are we doing? You know, like, what are we talking about here? This is Scream. Am I really gonna, like, dissect the believability of some person surviving said stab? You know what I mean? So Scream 6 is just a good time at the movies. You know, it gives you everything you want. I really like it. I like it more than Scream 5. And if you're a fan of that one, I think you'll enjoy this one even more. Scream 6, 4 stars. First 4-star movie of the year. Don't know if that's a hot take or not, and that might be a little bit high, but I just really enjoyed my time. I'm sorry. Let me just say, Paramount, if I see Ghostface in the streets like you are doing here with this marketing, it's on site, okay? Do not do that to me.